Not too much more you can ask.
Yeah, man, that's the best thing in this situation, especially with COVID going on.
Yeah. What beat you at?
We're at Curry, just
Okay.
just past, it's kind of south side of Carolina Beach.
I got you.
Yeah. So, all right, word. Well, I'm gonna kind of open it up just like we're doing an interview, and then we'll go from there. Um, what's up, guys? Cool here. I'm Caleb Hudson, sitting with Thomas Hennigan, the one and only White Lightning. Some people might call him. There's plenty of nicknames to go around for the man himself. But Thomas, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate having you.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. So as you know, we opened up the poll to the public for questions to ask you and kind of get the inside scoop. So all these questions that we're about to ask you today are straight from the public, right off the dome piece, as they'll say. So we've gotten some pretty interesting feedback, to say the least.
I believe it.
I texted you yesterday, and I mean, some of your teammates are even digging in on you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So
That's not good.
actually, we'll start with one of your teammates, Cato.
Oh wow.
His question is, who's your favorite DB on the team?
Oh man. I mean, he set me up right there to have to say his name, and he probably is. He's definitely the one I'm closest with. Me and Kaden, we do a podcast together. I'm definitely closest with him, but he's a safety. So as a whole DB group, I'm gonna go with Cato. But then if I jump down to corner, probably Stephen Jones. He's probably my
Okay.
favorite corner to go against. He's fun. He's always fun to compete against.
Heck yeah. And would you say that Cato, being that close with him, drives you to be a better wide receiver on the field and a better person? Or who's out there pushing you to your limits where you're almost frustrated in practice and ready to rip somebody's helmet off and just kind of go at it?
Yeah, well, um, I like pretty much all the corners. I don't, me and Cato don't really go against each other a whole lot, just one on ones. I play more outside, so I get a lot of matchups with the corners. But I mean, Sean Jolly, obviously, he's getting a lot of preseason preseason accolades from the college football world for good reason. He's a very good corner, so I enjoy matching up with him. And then Shamar Jean Charles, I mean that's the hardest worker on the team right now. If you had to ask me, that guy's getting after it every day. Um, I think that's one of the best things about playing football at App is every day feels like a game atmosphere. We're always going at it with each other, and then even the D linemen like Sub. I mean, we're just constantly talking to each other. So it's a great vibe we got going at practice. Sometimes it gets heated, sometimes it's just more lighthearted. But
That's the nature of the game, right?
yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Well, awesome, man. So, yeah, I mean, you guys just had Akeem Davis, who just got drafted, and Jordan Fair, who just signed with the Minnesota Vikings. So, App is kind of changing its whole image as far as the type of upper echelon team that they're becoming. So, what's it like to, come in freshman year? App is, coming off switching divisions almost. I think they're 2 years into it, and they're completely kind of changing the whole program. What's that like to be able to come in and be a part of that change and be recognized as one of the top programs in the country? I mean, you guys were the highest ranked Sun Belt team in Sun Belt history. So what's that mean to you, and what's that mean to the team?
Well, I think going back to me getting recruited out of high school, it's promises said, promises kept by the coaching staff. I mean, yeah, I've had three different head coaches, but they told me when I was coming out of high school that you're gonna get a good education and you're gonna compete for championships, and that's what we've done. Um, Luckily for us, we've had some great talent come through there to help build that program. Since the national championships, this program has really just taken off, and it's good to see all our hard work that we put in the off season and the culture that we have. It's finally getting national recognition, and I think that's a dream come true to be a college football player and to be in the top 25 because growing up that's what you see on TV. You watch the best teams. You don't want to watch these teams that just aren't very good.
Yeah,
So to go out there and compete with the best of the best. I mean, Akeem is one of the best sideline to sideline football players I've ever played against and with, definitely. So there's just talent all over the field, and you can see that I think the gap between Group of Five and Power Five is definitely shrinking. Um, that's just in all of college football.
Yeah, and I think I definitely agree with you. Um, uh, correct me if I'm wrong here in interpreting it this way, but athletes are now wanting to be a part of change and wanting
Right.
to kind of pave their own path, especially for an organization. So, for that, for you guys to come in and get that national recognition, not only are you excited about it and happy, but the fans, I can tell you just from what you hear, the final, outcome of this recognition has been crazy because the fans have been waiting
Yeah.
so long for this, and not due to your lack of work ethic or the program. It's due to the national level not recognizing us for the type of talent and the type of ability that we have. So that's really cool to see you guys taking that on and still wearing that underdog and having that chip on your shoulder.
Right. No, you're exactly right. That's just how it's been. Just a blue collar mentality, and that's how it's always going to be up there.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And I mean, you guys are just changing the program and changing the way. So that's really cool that you get to be a part of it. So I guess one of the questions we'll jump in, we'll go back to the audience real quick. This coming from Kentucky Gentleman, he asked, "Are you going to go undefeated this year, or is it going to be another loss to Georgia Southern?" Kind of a
Um,
tough question for you because
yeah.
nobody wants to lose.
No, I mean, always the goal is to go 14-0. That's the goal. Um, I think we match up well with every team that we got on our schedule this year. Obviously, the Georgia Southern one's going to hurt for a long time, and it's something that we've kind of got burned in the back of our heads. But I mean, our goal is always to beat every team that we go out and play. But at the end of the day, the goal is a championship and a bowl game. I think we lost a lot of talent on defense, but I think we got a lot of talent coming back, and there's some young guys coming up that's going to make a name for themselves. And then offensively, outside of Darrington and Vic, we didn't really lose, anyone. So I think it's going to be another year of that we're going to be in and expected to win every game we go out and play. I mean, but again, it's college football. You can't control everything. So
Anything can happen on any given day.
right. So we just got to go out there and play our game. And I mean, anybody who's ever played any sport, it's hard to go out there and do it every single time to the best of your ability. But I think we got a very experienced group, and I think we stand a very good chance at going undefeated this year.
Well, Kentucky Gentleman, if you're watching this, I think Thomas just gave you the best answer you could have been looking for. So that's a right way to answer that question. And like you say, that it's college football. I mean, there's
Right.
nobody wants to lose, but they always say the best of the best remember their losses, not their wins, because
Right.
they do
Exactly.
stick with you
No
for
doubt.
a long time. So one of the interesting questions, and I texted you about this, and it
Oh yeah.
kind of caught me off guard. Riley, I don't know the last name here, but Riley has asked, "How big is your left pinky toe?"
Oh man. I mean, a good size. I guess that's the right answer. Probably about an inch, inch and a half.
It's a good
Thanks,
measurement.
Riley, for the
Is that
question.
from, they have a measuring app on your phone. I don't know if you want
No way. I'm not pulling that out right now.
to.
Absolutely not. Good question. Kind of a weird question, but I mean, I'll take it.
Very weird
Inch,
question.
inch and a half, Riley.
All right, Riley, you heard it here first. Thomas Hennigan's left pinky toe, very oddly specific, is an inch and a half. Um, let's see, who else do we have? We have Ian McNaughty. He asked, "Is a hot dog a sandwich?" This is one of the most controversial questions that a lot of people. It's like is soup or cereal a soup? Hot dog sandwich. What are you going with on this? I mean, this
I
is going to
think
cause arguments in the locker room.
Cato and I actually kind of talked about this on our podcast. I think it came up like in one of the early episodes. And I believe my answer was a hot dog is its private entity. It's its own thing. I don't think you can just throw. I mean, if you want to say like anything between two pieces of bread is a sandwich, then yeah. But I mean, then you get into that like whole different category.
Oh
So I
yeah, I mean,
think,
and it's laying down too. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
I
weird.
mean, I'm gonna say it's its own private entity. So I'm gonna say no, it's not a sandwich to answer your question.
All right, and the controversy goes on. Ian
Yeah.
McNulty, hot dog is not a sandwich. For all you people out there who want to comment and give your input, please do, because I'm sure Thomas on his next podcast is probably going to bring this up. Um, let's see, dude. One of the biggest things. I mean, man, you've been doing a great job for a long time here at App, and even back in high school. Your numbers have just been going up and up. You are probably one of the most underrated receivers in all of college football. Um, but you're changing that name, and I think one of the biggest things that you've been recognized for is that Moss in the UAB game. Pardon me. And you stepped up, and you, Allen Iverson, number 4, you straight up walked over the man, disrespected him, no disregard for human life. What was that banter like going back and forth with that kid? What did you say to him after you just completely disrespected him and his family?
I didn't, we weren't even really talking that game, but um, perhaps some other people could say it better than me. But when I'm playing, when I'm competing, I'm a first class asshole. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just how I've always been. That's how I'm always going to be.
You got to
Um,
be, man. I mean, you got to think you're the
yeah.
best on the field at all times.
Yeah, and I think if you look at, the great wide receivers and just the great competitors in general, I mean, especially after watching this Jordan documentary, I mean, you see, the mindset that you've got to have, and not to say that my mindset's like Michael Jordan's, but it's similar because you just have to believe that when that ball's in the air, that it's your ball and you're gonna out jump, you're gonna out muscle, you're gonna do whatever you can to catch that ball. And I think that's something that I've prided myself on, throughout my playing days. And because coming out of high school, everyone just kind of had labeled me as someone on the slower end, someone on the stiffer end, but they always said that he's got
And
great
you've gone out and
hands.
proved them wrong, man,
Yeah,
on a
that's
daily.
yeah, and it's been fun to play against these big schools who just kind of doubted me coming out of high school. And there's not a better feeling in sports when you can, just truly look at someone and have earned their respect.
Yeah.
And it drives pretty much everyone at App on the team. We just kind of feel like we're just the most disrespected team in the country, and we're going out there, you know, to show everyone who we are and how we play. So
Yeah, and I mean, going off of that a little bit, you mentioned, coaches who you're playing against and teams that you were very felt you were very undervalued. Um, do you ever look over on the sideline and look at a specific coach or a player or a recruiter and say, this is what you missed out on? I mean,
um,
you got it. I would be pissed off, man, if I was under recruited and you got that driving force, but if I was ever playing a team or a coach, I would look over and just start talking trash to the coach, mouthing off, and then I know Sean preaches respect, but at the same time, you come on, you gotta want to say something to somebody.
yeah. Well, I would have loved to have gone against that previous Chapel Hill staff. Obviously, Mac took over and pretty much flipped everybody and got new guys in there, so it wasn't too much of a grudge against those guys. But Wake Forest, my freshman year, I was able to, they that was one of the schools because I'm from Greensboro. That was one of the schools where I grew up going to games there, so it would have been a great opportunity to go there. But I've said it ever since I got to App that everything happens for a reason, and I'm here
Oh,
for a
yeah.
reason. So, but after during Wake my freshman year, I was able to make eye contact with that receivers coach there, and because it's not every day that the school that turned you down ended up having to double cover you and put a safety over the top to help out your side. So um, that's kind of when I knew that I belonged in college football, and not only belong, but I can be really good at what I'm doing. And after that, I've just kind of been, riding that wave of confidence and, not getting satisfied with where I'm at now, but always got something more to work on. But you're right, it's a great feeling going against those guys, and um, but yeah, being respectful. But even though that's being respectful is not always the most fun.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
Yeah.
and you said it yourself. You don't want to get complacent. You don't ever want to get
Right.
complacent where you're at. And those guys, they're your driving force.
Yeah.
And I think even at times you, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, you can attribute some of your success to the guys doubting you and the guys saying you're not going to ever be this or you're never going to be here. And then all of a sudden you're being double covered and they're having to pull the safety over to this strong side of the field because that's where you're playing.
Right.
So that's just incredible. And you mentioned UNC. That was the first big Power Five win of the year last year. Obviously, that was highly talked about throughout the country. Even on ESPN, they're saying, "And school out of nowhere, App State." And I guess the frustrating part for that as a fan and as a broadcaster and reporter and even as a football player for you is that we've been around. I mean, everybody's heard of the win against Michigan. It's not as if App State just disappeared and didn't win 3 championships. So what did that win against UNC mean for y'all as a program, as a team, and as a school?
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it, like we've been around, and taking Tennessee and Penn State to overtime. Obviously, I wasn't there for the Tennessee game, but the Penn State one, I think, that one just hurt. And
Oh yeah.
then, so I mean, then we had to think about it for a year before we got an opportunity to go against another big time school like that. And um, I think that one just meant more to us because we were just we're in the same state. We a lot of the guys, me, I didn't grow up a Carolina fan, but a lot of the guys on the team, from North Carolina or around the area, grow up being North Carolina fans just because it's a big time university. And here they are with Mac Brown, one of the greatest coaches in college football, and just kind of all the odds are against us. And I think that's when we play our best ball when no one thinks that we belong. Um, it was, hands down one of the best days of my life, and I'll never forget it. Um,
What was that locker room like? And this is all
oh,
coming from Landon J, ladies and gentlemen. He's asked about the locker room. What was the atmosphere like after beating UNC?
it was surreal. It was like a rager, and all we wanted to do was get back to Boone and just start celebrating. Um, it was it was a great day to be a Mountaineer. Truly, I know people say that all the time, but that was one of the best days to do that. And just the support from the fans was unreal. They turned that place, black and gold, and that's just
They flipped it upside down, man.
no
And
doubt, no doubt,
UNC fans were just on a different level from App State.
no doubt, no doubt. And it was. I knew it a long time ago, but that just kind of solidified, like, all right, I made the right choice. Like,
Yeah,
App State's a football school.
yeah,
Carolina, I mean, not even this year, they couldn't even win in basketball. So,
yeah.
um, but it was a great day to say.
Yeah, and that you watch what happened after the game just to see the type of support fans piled out outside of the stadium for you guys. I
Hmm.
mean, there were just lines and lines of people ready to meet the App State Mountaineers that had just knocked off this highly touted Power Five program. They have a true freshman in Sam Howell, and all of a sudden you guys come in. We're Sun Belt or Fun Belt team as people call us and you completely knock them off. And would you say that win was better than the South Carolina win?
For me personally, yeah, just being from North Carolina,
Yeah.
I grew up 40 minutes from Chapel Hill, and I've hated Chapel Hill ever since I was born. I have a lot of friends that go there. I have a lot of friends that grew up Carolina fans.
Okay.
And so I remember I committed my senior year in high school, and App signed the deal where they would do a home and home with North Carolina, and it was 2020 or 2019 when it was going to happen, the first game, and I was still in high school at the time, and everyone was already talking about that game. So it came quick, but I mean, wow, it
And
was.
then you get to watch it. I guess trend or ascend into this great big ordeal where people are talking about it, and all of a sudden you're there and you're in it, and it
Yeah,
happens like you said at the snap of a finger. So
yeah.
that's got to be crazy for you to be a part when they sign that and watch it, and all of a sudden you're in it before you even know it.
hmm And I think that's great for college football as well. I mean, obviously we won, and that's always the goal. But I think it's great for college football that you see more of these, in-state games start being played because I think like an App North Carolina game or like an ECU, NC State type of game is always going to get more out of the fans and out of the players than, just doing like home and homes with teams across the country. Like, yeah, Auburn and Oregon are going to be a great game, but at the end of the day, like, what does it really matter outside of just a college playoff bid? I think, you get those home and home game or those in-state games or just those close rivalries to, resurface. I think that's going to, just make the game a lot more interesting and a lot more fun for everybody.
And you guys are going to build those new rivalries as the years
Right.
go along too, which is really cool. So we're running out of time here, but I want to definitely get to some more audience questions. This coming from Kid Cause, another very controversial topic: Popeyes chicken sandwich or Chick-fil-A? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Do I have to get a sandwich from Chick-fil-A?
You're gonna have to go sandwich.
Okay.
This is the stipulation of the question. I didn't write these. I just work here.
I got you. I got you. Well, I will tell you that spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes is absolutely out of this world. Um,
Really?
it's out of this world. I
Haven't
really
given it a
enjoy
try
it.
yet.
Gotta try it if you haven't yet. Um, I think if I had to pick one to eat at the end of the week, I'm probably taking the Popeye sandwich. But if I have to do it every day, I'm gonna go with Chick-fil-A.
Every day except Sunday.
Bingo.
Yeah, and that's the day you crave it most, man. It always
I don't
sucks.
know why, man. Just after like church on Sunday, you just want to go to Chick-fil-A, but absolutely not. They're
And
closed.
subconsciously, you for some reason subconsciously you know that it's not open, and I think that's why your mind is just
Right.
saying, "All right, I want to go get a Chick-fil-A sandwich," because you always want what you can't have, right?
No doubt. No doubt.
Um, so let's see. We'll go three more questions here, just from the audience again. Um, I like these two. One from Brad726. What is the inside scoop for fans on the 2020 season? What is your like the information that's never going to be, obviously you guys have discretion you have to follow, but if you can give any one little piece that you want fans to know about that's going on inside the locker room, and especially with this coaching transition, what would it be?
Well, I think it's difficult for all of college football right now with kind of the uncertainty going around with, is there going to be a season? Is it going to be delayed? Is how many fans are going to be able to come? Obviously it's looking like more and more that there will be a season, and that's going to be great for everybody. I think everyone wants to play, everyone wants to see college football, but I don't know. As far as like inside scoop, I mean, just know like the team is ready to play a whole season behind Coach Clark. We all love that guy. That guy loves us, and we're going to go out and give it our best every game. He has tremendous chemistry with the guys. He's put together a really good staff, a lot of experience around. So that's what I would say. I think if there was ever a time where we had a lot of seniors and a really good coach and everyone pointing in one direction, it's going to be this year.
Right on. I mean, Brad726 really tried to hit you with a tough question
Yeah, he
there.
did. He was trying to get some inside scoop
I
from me.
know, man. I don't know if he's working for Esquire or what, but he's trying
Sorry, I don't
to
have any more than that, Brad.
probably for the best. You want to
Yeah,
stay
I
out of
guess.
trouble
I
there.
guess.
All right, let's see. Best dancer on the team. This is coming from who do we have here? Brent Gilmore wants to know who's the best dancer on the team, who's the swaggiest, who's out there on the field, just well, in between plays is just popping it like he's Odell Beckham.
Oh man, there's so many good dancers. I will tell you that it's not me. There's a lot of good dancers on the team, though. Um,
Who's the guy you're all right here? Let's change up the question a little bit. Sorry about that, Brent. who's the guy you're gonna be willing to place money on to win a dance-off competition?
Because like
That might help.
just solely based off of his broad range of dance skills, I got to take Jalen Virgil.
All right.
Um, that guy can. It doesn't matter what song it is. He can just come to and get a new dance move that I've never seen before and just make it look good. Um,
I struggle with that. I can't dance with a dance.
yeah, I mean, like I get like there's good dancers that have like three moves, but I mean, just for like the broad range of like he can do whatever he wants, it's got to be Verge. Even though there's a lot of other guys like, um, Meach, Sherm, those guys, Stephen Jones, those guys are just good dancers. But uh, hands down, I gotta take Verge.
Well, all right, Jalen Virgil, you have a lot to live up to, and Thomas Hennigan, he's putting his faith in you. So, Jalen, if there's ever a dance off, you better go to Hennigan and hope he puts some money down and maybe split that up. I don't know how the college gambling administration's gonna appreciate that one. All right, so we got one last question. It's kind of a two-parter here. What is your prediction for yourself? Obviously, you want to set high goals in the 2020 season or in life. What is your prediction, and and the all-time ranking for Guilford County high schools? How would you rank those? I think, yeah, Mike, Mike something. I can't even read this. Mike says rank the all-time Guilford County high school football programs in order from the best to the worst. And what is your prediction for the outcome of 2020 for yourself? Sorry, I got a little stupid there for a second. Couldn't figure out my words.
No, you're good. So for Guilford County in the high school football scene, um, obviously I'm a little biased with Northwest, but I would have to say just traditionally, year in and year out, they'll always compete. I think Dudley is going to be up there. Page obviously has a great tradition with a bunch of state championships. Um, those schools, I think Grimsley's, I mean, since like 2005, they've just been horrible. But in the recent years, Grimsley's been good. It's hard for me to follow high school football now, being in college. I'll check in on how Northwest is doing, but I don't really know a lot of the up and coming players right now. But I think you just over the last 15, 20 years, I think you've got to put Dudley, Page, Northern, and Northwest as the big four for the last 15, 20 years.
All right, that's the all-time Guilford County rankings from Thomas Hennigan, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see it. That's the ranking. He's sticking by it. He's standing by
Yeah,
it.
y'all can hate me for all that, but I mean you can check it. You
Well,
can check it.
his Instagram handle is T Henny. So if anybody wants to go take it up in the DMs or
Yeah,
on the Insta story, go ahead and
just
go
be
ahead.
nice because I'm not responding if you're gonna be mean.
Please
What was
be
the
nice.
second part? What was the second part of that question again?
The second part was the prediction for 2020. What do you want? What do you see yourself? What goals are you setting? And what do you want to achieve in
Yeah.
this upcoming season?
Well, the goal is always, like I said, it's going to be a conference championship and a bowl game, and to get my degree for this year. I think that's the team, that's the expectation for everybody. Personally, um, about 70 or so receptions off from the all-time receptions leader at App. That's the
That's
goal
right.
for this year. Obviously, um, if it means not getting that, but getting the championship in the bowl game, I'm taking the championships all day. But that's the goal that I have in the back of my head to have my name written down in history. It's going to be something very important for me. But at the same time, it's a personal goal, and personal goals are always going to be put aside for team goals. But if it was one thing that I wanted out of this year, outside of a championship, it would be that.
Spoken like a true winner, true champion, true leader. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Thomas Hennigan. Thomas, thank you so much for coming on, man. We definitely want to bring you on down the road. We'd love to
Yeah.
have you. I guess one last parting question is, who do you want to see on the show next? I mean, we just started up this Q&A. Who do you want to see? What things do you want to see differently? And in the future, when we bring you on, we're going to do some different, funnier segments and
Yeah.
some challenges and whatnot. But who do you want to see next on the show, and what do you want to see differently?
First off, I just want to say thank you for everybody for asking those questions. Those were good questions. You know, other than the toes one, they were all pretty good. I think that there's a lot of good personalities on the football team. Um, just this upcoming season, I think that, ooh, if you wanted a backup quarterback perspective, Jacob Huseman would actually be a very good guy to have on the show.
Okay.
Um, he would be good. Um, oh man, I mean, I can't pick just one guy.
What if, what
Um,
if what if it was from a different sport? Because we obviously we're gonna take from broad ranges from all
okay,
walks of App State here. So if you had to choose somebody from a different sport, shout them out and say we want
I
to see you
think
on the show.
I want to hear from Justin Forrest. I mean, that guy just, I feel like every time I watched the game, he was making a game winner. So, I think you gotta, see what he's up to and, how that team's looking because they had a better season this year and they were fun to watch. I think he would be a good one. And, yeah, I think that would be the one guy I would pick.
All right. Well, Justin, we're going to be coming your way. Thank you again, Thomas. I hope that your family's staying safe. I hope that you're staying safe. Quarantine right now is just a disaster for everyone. So,
Yeah.
and thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. Please feel free to follow Thomas on Instagram at thenny, and don't be mean in the comments. Don't come at
Yeah.
her with anything negative whatsoever, please.